So the second part of what I'd like to talk about is maybe a little more practical for what we're really talking about. So once again, the example that I showed prior was that we have a vessel with 400 pounds of 134 in it, and we want to get that gas out of it, whether this represents a chiller or maybe it really is a half-ton cylinder full of refrigerant. But one of the things, and I got to put the writing back on it, I drew this as destination cylinders. So we're going to take the liquid out of here. We're going to put it in destination cylinders. Where the smaller cylinders, we may have to have a number of them. But the one thing I want to write in here is that this recovery unit is whether it be RefTec or some other brand, it is a true vapor. I'm going to call it a recovery unit first, though. It is a recovery unit, but because it has pistons in it, it's not a pump, it's not a liquid pump, it has pistons in it, so it's referred to as a vapor compression device. There's real reasons that because we all know that liquid is not compressible, and to feed liquid into any recovery unit that is a vapor compression device, it would do damage. So when we start to give an example, and we're going to do this physically, we're going to take this unit that we've got here from RefTec, we're going to hook up the hoses, we're going to move refrigerant to show you exactly how you might do this, but this is a concept and the idea that how would I get that 400 pounds out of there with this device? So what we would do first, if you think about it, all these cylinders, the destinations would be vacuumed and cleaned. We would also have one other cylinder over here as a destination cylinder, but we're going to use this vapor compression device to create a low pressure in these destination cylinders as we let the pressure that's on top of this liquid force that liquid into these destination cylinders. Hope you can see that on the chalkboard here. But so we would start this process, we would start our recovery unit, make sure that there's low pressure in this, we would open these valves, the liquid in this tank would have 70 pounds of pressure pushing it into that tank. If we examine this and say that's 400 pounds, these might be 240 pound cylinders. It's going to take 3 of them, 2 of them at least, to get that gas. So we let that fill up. We would have these on a scale, and so that we would know when they're full of liquid, or we would connect, as they do in RefTec equipment, we have an 80% full device which would shut it off. But in the beginning, we'd take 200 pounds of liquid out, we'd take another 200 pounds of liquid into the next cylinder, and then we would, the final one, when the liquid stops, we would put a sight glass here so that we could see when all the liquid is gone. This is just theoretically how we could do that, but again, the RefTec equipment with pistons in it, it is vapor compression, and this is how we would move liquid. And then later, we're going to show you firsthand using the RefTec equipment. We'll hook up real hoses and real things, and we'll walk you through exactly how you would do it with a piece of RefTec equipment. But the kind of the punchline here first is to see that we would drain the liquid out, and after the liquid is gone, we would change the hoses so that we would put the vapors that's remaining in this cylinder into the RefTec equipment and then put it here in a destination cylinder. But we'll do a real life, we'll set up a tank, we'll hook the hose up slowly and show you exactly how to hook it up to do that job properly. But this is just kind of the concept of how would I move 400 pounds of gas.
How long would it take for this RefTec machine to move this 400 pounds of gas?
If we had 400 pounds in that, it would probably be 10 minutes a piece to fill these. And then the remaining vapors in there might be a half hour or so. So really an hour's worth of processing or less. And again, another video that we'll go through, all this depends on the hoses, the cylinders that you're using. So if you have good RefTec high flow cylinders, the job is much, much easier. But we'll show you that in detail when we use a piece of RefTec equipment and the right cylinders. But we'll go through that end to end.
If that represents a chiller on your chart there, and we started this process, what would be the condition of the chiller when we were complete?
As ARI says, we would pull it down to their designation, which is about 15 inches of vacuum. So if you think about it, We'd move the liquid out first. We'd change the hoses around so this is pulling just the remaining vapors. We would pull it into a dedicated vacuum. As you know, ARI has a standard for what that should be, and the RefTec equipment is capable of doing just that.